I know this sounds extreme, but I couldn't think of any other title. When I was 16, my high school did this thing called NCS, National Citizen Service, in which you paid about £50 to go to Scotland for a week and stay in a citizen dorm for another week. Me and my friends were all going to sign up for the same date so we would not be alone. I ended up going completely alone, surrounded by strangers, as my best friend could not go with me due to family issues, and the rest of my friends just changed their mind. So, it was the first day just as we were meeting everyone before getting on a coach for 7 hours up to Edinburgh. And a guy, who I'll just refer to as L, came up to me and complimented my Rick and Morty shirt. L definitely had a neck beard, but was not overweight, but quite short, and didn't smell or rank of BO like your typical neckbeard. At first, I thought L was the best. We had the same humor, and I agreed to sit next to him on the coach journey. Everything was fine at first, until he started talking about the movie Full Metal Jacket. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this film, but the way he talked about the film as if it was hilarious. He even got a little mad at me when I said I didn't think it was the best movie I'd seen. We quickly moved on to talking about music, and I mentioned one of my favorite bands, 21 Pilots, to which he rolled his eyes and scoffed, saying, "So you're one of those girls?" Confused by this, I asked him what he meant by one of those girls, and he didn't answer, just asked me if I was religious. I said no, and he sighed with relief and gave a very overdramatic sigh. Finding this weird, I just put my headphones in and ignored him till we got to the hostel. Over the last few days, I distanced myself from L, as he would ask me extremely personal questions about my sexuality, which I had not even brought up to him at all. This was hard, as he would always butt into my conversations and follow me, even though I made it obvious I was not interested in being his friend at all. I made a lot more friends there, including a girl who I'll just call C. C was a Catholic, but was extremely kind and didn't care what I told her that I was bi. We even had an in-depth discussion about it. L found out C was religious and would make extremely insensitive comments over her religion, saying how she was stupid and had to be a horrible person. One time we were just waiting in line for food, and he turned to me and C, who were talking about how prayers before food were necessary. And L turned around and said to C, "You realize you're retarded, right?" C just looked at me and thought it was for me. I told L that he didn't have anything nice to say or respectful, he should just be quiet. L just called me a thought and told me I would never get a man like him with an attitude like that. I told him, good. There were multiple more instances involving him, but here are the ones that stand out. Told our group he should be the leader as he is the alpha. Asked me for my Instagram literally every single day. Told C she should kill me because I was bisexual and it was her religion. Called all the girls thoughts, and telling this one extremely attractive girl who I was talking to that she was a Barbie doll full of plastic. When I finally got home, he messaged me on Snapchat, the social media our said group had to conversationize on, and asked me if I missed him, with a very unattractive shot of his crotch. Blocked him immediately and didn't go back for week 2. He also did not shower the whole week, even though we were hiking and rock climbing every day. I apologize if this is structured wrong. It's a few years ago, and I cannot remember every detail properly, but that's the only, luckily, neckbeard experience I've had, and I'm not even sure if it counts as a neckbeard story. Feel free to ask questions, and I might even remember some more dumb shit he did. My high school is a very small school, so nobody was actually involved in fights, bullies, etc. So we were all shocked when it happened. GB, Goody Boy, NB, Neckbeard. It was a dark morning, and we have to wait by the doors as teachers have not opened the high school doors yet. I was with my friends and we were chatting about how bullcrap Bridget was in Overwatch when we heard a scream. It was a quiet morning, so all the students that were waiting by the door heard the scream. We all turned around at the direction of the scream and we saw GB, which is sort of popular kid, arguing with NB. NB has a certain reputation in our school. He is almost never up to dress code, as he has his school coat, mandatory unbuttoned, exposing some superhero anime shirts, and wore black shorts, and always making everybody uncomfortable. He does have a group friend, and somehow had managed to win the anime club election, but he has a huge ego and makes almost every girl in the club uncomfortable. As they were arguing, NB walked away, and we thought that was over, but he came back with a katana. A katana from his car. Quickly, everyone ran, and the next thing I know, school security have guns that shoot rubber bullets, asking him to lower his weapon. NB started charging at GB, and he was quickly shot with a ton of rubber bullets and slamming to the ground. As the security put him in handcuffs, we circled around him, and his face got destroyed, and his forehead was extremely swollen and red. I asked GB why he attacked him, and he said that NB thought it was bullcrap that GB started dating this girl that was NB's friend, as he has been nice to her, and he was trying to get with her for a while. I don't know what happened with him, but I know that the anime club stopped meeting and security started wearing body armor. Ever been casually browsing the aisles and you think you finally decide what you want? It's usually a good feeling. However, this time the Neckbeard community strikes again. I thought I smelled my dew in fedoras. No, it was poo. Actually, muddy toilet juice. I was looking at video game accessories and it hit me right in the face. A man with absolutely zero disabilities comes pulling up in his motorized cart. The only thing wrong with him is that it was too much work to walk. All them Doritos visible in his beard, sauce and dip painting his clothes. It was too much weight for him to carry around. He came to the entrance of the aisle and said, "Excuse me," as if he were entitled to the aisle. I don't mind letting someone by, but what I do mind is when you pull up and stop right in front of me where I'm looking. My daughter, son, and life partner are wedged against the display, unable to move. We had to endure the foul stench of his unshowered aroma. He probably wore diapers, so cannot be gone from his video games long enough to clean himself. The only time I ever wanted to vomit and felt trapped or held against my will. We clear our throat to make him realize what's going on. He then stares at us as if we were in the wrong. He finally leaves. Then the best thing ever. His mommy showed up. This man is at least in his mid-30s, if not in his 40s. This sweet, innocent elderly woman comes up behind him and starts yelling, "I thought I told you no video games today." "It's not a video game, I need my headphones," said in the most demeaning tone, like on a technicality I'm right snipe. Her response golden. "Oh, you just want this buggy bear." The smirk of victory on his face. "Yes, Mama, thank you." "Well, it's a video game thing, and I said no." She then throws it down in the DVD display. The look on his face was priceless, like someone damaged the fedora. It was golden, watching a grown man getting handled like a doorknob. He was cowering in fear as if he was a child with the look of dread on their face, like I know when I get home the belt is in my future. I work at Walmart, and in my state wearing masks is mandatory now. If someone's not wearing one, we have to turn them away. There's no option. So I'm outside on my break and I see this guy in what looked like a wrestling t-shirt. He looked well over 300 pounds and had greasy hair and pretty bad acne. He was not wearing a mask. One of my girlfriends is stationed at the door and tells him he's going to be on the wrong side of the gate, but he ignored her. She told him he could not come in because he had no mask, and he started ranting about how this was fascism and how we cannot treat people like this. She told him that she was sorry, but this was an order from the governor. He tried stepping past her, but she would not let him. I ran and got my friend. I had a feeling this would be an issue. He's a pretty tall, stocky guy and ran over to the door. He asked if there was a problem, and NB stopped dead in his tracks. He went from domineering and aggressive to meek and just put his mask on. So apparently he has no problem getting onto a woman, but the second my tall buddy comes out, he has no courage. My break ended and I went back to my register. Only 3 registers were open. I'm the only female cashier today. I was busy ringing up a customer, and the same rustling neckbeard comes up at the end of my aisle. When the other cashier says he can take him now, he said, "I want to wait for that cashier," pointed to me, I guess because I was a woman. He came up to me and handed me like 5 anime DVDs. That's it. He risked catching and spreading corona for anime DVDs. Some stuff I never heard of since I do not watch anime. He's talking to me while I'm ringing him up, complaining about the masks and how I'm too pretty to wear a mask. I'm not saying anything, I'm just trying to hurry and get his stuff scanned so I can get him out of here. The last one I saw is Princess Mononoke, which I have seen before and liked it. I commented on it and just said that I liked this movie. He suggested I come home with him to watch it and wrote his number on the receipt. I handed him the bag and told him to have a nice day. He just said, "Yeah, you better be joining me, baby." I was too stunned to move. He said he might come back tomorrow just to see me. I waved at the next customer to come, hoping he'd get the hint. I thought he did, since he left, but he did not. He walked out of the aisle and around to my side of the counter and hugged me.